One of the things that I told folks I was looking forward to the most about moving back down to Sydney was being able to access a thorough and working public transport system. The last thing I was expecting was to need one while playing a video game about owning and operating your own starship. What's it like? Let's find out. Hello and welcome. Eyes open, Rob. Hello and welcome, my name is Rob Farker, a still semi-novice YouTuber and lover of sleek futures and cool machines, who is taking his perspective to YouTube to talk about life, the universe and everything, and with any luck how to do all of the above with a little bit more intent. A quick note at the top of this video: please give the video a like, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I would love it very much if you could pen or type a polite, enthusiastic and constructive comment in the comments section down below. Doing so not only lets YouTube know that this channel is worth promoting, but also it lets me know that you are out there finding interest and fun and value in these videos that I'm doing. So I have been getting back into Elite Dangerous for the past few months now, exploring the things that I hadn't tried out yet, and getting back into all the familiar activities that I'd done a few years back to see how they'd changed. Now, one of the big changes that got made a few years back was the rollout of the Odyssey expansion, which introduced on-foot gameplay to Elite Dangerous, both on planet and also on the various star systems and bases that you can land on. You can finally get out of your ship and have a wander around the space stations that so far you've only seen the interior of the docking bay of from within your cockpit. And as part of that, one of the things that Frontier Developments have introduced has been something that is called Apex Transport. Apologies if I'm getting the name wrong. We'll find out in a sec when I go back into the game. Although I am tempted to just actually go into the game now and talk about it while I am there. But essentially, it is the ability for you to travel from star system to star system and presumably space station to space station without actually owning a starship of your own. Presumably, this is in support of the on-foot gameplay that Presumably this is to support the on-foot gameplay that Odyssey introduced, the idea that you can take purely on-foot missions and do first-person shooter combat action without needing a starship of your own. I'm not 100% sure if it actually works that way, but still the combination of being able to take mercenary jobs from... You know what, I think it's about time I stopped waffling and got into the game a little bit. Let's swap over. Here I am in the docking bay of Lewis Gateway with my, thus far, favourite starship, the Kamakiri, my Cobra Mark V Stellar Edition. And I actually do need to be going this way because the segments of gameplay I'm talking about aren't accessible from within my ship and the Starport Services panel. They are accessible from the station's concourse. So let's get in the lift. And I better turn the noise back on so that you guys can hear the fun. I like that music. Oh, hang on a second. Alright, it's just pushed me out because I switched views. I alt-tabbed. There we go. Alright. So here we are. So we have these two options: Apex Interstellar Transport and Frontline Solutions. Excuse me, ma'am. Frontline Solutions is where you can sign up for on-foot combat missions. Again, without necessarily needing...
No active conflicts at the moment.
Well, in theory, you can get on-foot combat missions, assuming that there is business for you. No, I don't have any combat bonds. All right.
We done here, soldier? I'm sure one of the factions will pick a fight soon enough. Be sure and check back.
And if we go over this way...
How are you? Couldn't be better.
I do love the conversations that you get at times. And here we have Apex Interstellar Transport, which is where you can actually catch an interstellar bus to where you need to go. And just recently, this became something that I might actually use. Hang on a sec. I just realised I do actually need to go back to my starship to show you this next bit. There's going to be a lot of cutting in the and editing on this one, unfortunately. I'm trying to keep the editing down, but yeah, I do seem to just wind up making these longish videos. All right, let's sprinty. I kind of don't like sprinting in first-person shooters when there's not a need to. It's just a shame that in this particular area, the distance is kind of far enough where you do at least have to be running. Yeah, if I'm running these in the general order of actual recording as opposed to juggling them around for when I put them live, I recently completed the... that's right. I recently completed the Brewer Corporation Planetary Survey Initiative, and out of it I got a whopping great 75 million credits, which added to just over 50 million that I had earned after my reset through regular gameplay, giving me a little over 120. And I decided to buy myself some new ships. As I talked about in the video of part 2 of the 2-parters I did about the Planetary Survey Initiative, I wound up buying myself a Type 8 transporter, the Lucky Henry, and I took a couple of screenshots of it, so I will be sure to put them up, because right at the moment the Lucky Henry isn't actually at my location. So yes, shortly after the Brewer Corporation Planetary Survey Initiative community goal wrapped up, Frontier Developments wound up announcing not just one, but 2 new community goal challenges framed around the independent colonization effort, just in preparation for the release of the Trailblazers next update for Elite Dangerous that is going to introduce Interstellar I'm tripping over my own tongue. The Trailblazers update, which is going to introduce player-driven interstellar colonization. And so there are 2 new challenges in the Elite Dangerous game. The Trailblazer Fleet Initiative and Protecting Deliveries to Minerva, both of which are based out of the Starlace station in the Minerva system. And as they kind of went live mid to late last night being the 20th of February, Australian Eastern Daylight Time, me and the Elite Dangerous Australia crew, at least some of us, were up and about, and we thought we would go and check it out, and I wound up doing a few runs. As a result, I wound up leaving Lucky Henry, my new Type 8 transporter, in the Minerva system, which is a little over 100 light years away from the Vodianus system, which is where most of my ships are at the moment. After completing the community challenge, not only did I get the Lucky Henry, my Type 8 transporter, but I also got myself the Kid Charlemagne. Or perhaps I should just say Kid Charlemagne to, stop any confusion with the Kid Leroy. My new Vulture attack fighter, which still needs a bit of work, but I wound up doing a little bit of a tour of various galactic garages to get the necessary parts at 15% off, making sure I bought from Li Yong Rui, and I will make sure to put the spelling of that in this video, so that you folks, if you're not already aware of Li Yong Rui, you can go look the systems that he controls up in Inara and go hunt down where you can get 15% off your starship parts and even your base starship chassis. And as a result, I wound up coming back to Vodianus, and after all that wanton purchasing, significantly depleting my budget, I wound up heading back to the Vodianus system and trying to centralise my ships in Lewis Gateway, my new favourite place to be, basically, because damn, it has a fantastic view when you leave the docking bay. But then I got a bit of a nasty surprise. Now, one of the things that you can do in Elite Dangerous is that if you have more than one ship, and you happen to have parked one in a distant star system, such that, well, if you went to try and get it in another ship of yours, you'd have to leave that ship behind and do some sort of fancy leapfrogging until you can get both ships, or all your ships, back in the one place. However, there is the option for you to be able to retrieve your ship from a remote system and get it delivered to you. Unfortunately, in this case, as mentioned previously, the Minerva star system is 100 light years away, and getting Lucky Henry, my brand new Type 8 transporter, back is, as you can see, it's a little bit pricey. I mean, I'm used to paying between 1,000 and maybe 15,000 credits to ferry a ship from where it is to where I am currently. And this, well, I mean, technically, I can afford it, but there's a bit of me that goes, really? Do I have to pay that much? And then I remembered, I have another option. Public transport. So, what I am going to do today, and I have not tried this out first, I have, for all of my talk about loving public transport and reckoning that a functioning, well, you know, more functioning than not. I know that there are a lot of folks in Sydney who have probably, you know, some justification in griping at the current state of things. It's not been the most fantastic of late, but still, I am yet, for all of my talk, I'm yet to actually try the public transport system within Elite Dangerous. And given how much it looks like I'm going to have to pay in order to get Lucky Henry here to Lewis Gateway back from Minerva, I thought, what the hell? Let's give it a go. Now, some of you might be asking, why not just fly to Minerva and do some stuff from there? And you know what, I might, but I don't know. I like the idea, rather than flying to Minerva in one of my own ships, just giving Apex a try for the first time and seeing whether or not it's a goer. Now, the last time I actually did look into it at one point, when someone says, hey to you out of the blue, you kind of want to check it out. So I did try it at one point right after the reset, when I wanted to just see if I could fly myself back to Elite Dangerous Australia controlled territory from the starting system. And apparently,
welcome to Apex Interstellar.
That was a bit too far.
Where can we take you today?
Well, I'm hoping that you can take me to the Minerva system. So let's have a look and see whether it's doable. And here we go. The blue globe here is because it is considered a mission objective for the current community goal. Well, it does look as though Minerva is doable. It is telling me that the range is okay. 51,349 credits. Well, you know what? Again, I've not done this before, and I can afford it. It at least is around about a sixth, or under a sixth, I believe, of what I would pay to ferry Lucky Henry all the way back here. So let's see what happens. And yes, I want to go to Starlay Station because that is where Lucky Henry is.
Thank you. Your booking is confirmed.
And I believe
Have a
now,
good trip.
all I have to do is go this way. Ooh. Can't interact yet. Shuttle is preparing for departure. Is that sound the lift coming up? Or is that... No, that's the hangar noise. Those are the... all the hydraulics for the hangar platforms and such.
Shuttle docked. Ready
Ooh, and there is even a countdown timer. Okay. Yes, please. Okay. Well, I wonder if that was a bit of a bug. Ooh, Rocky Gould's adder. So let's have a look at an Apex Transport adder, shall we? Yes, I know I've got 2 unread messages. And the adder is a ship that you can actually buy in the game. So it's not just an NPC vessel. And of course the name, in keeping with the very serpentine reptilian names of a lot of the ships in this game. Okay, so and I have to use the joystick for this. So, I don't know if you just heard him, but this must be Rocky, our pilot. Ooh. And I do still have access to the external data, that'll put me the internal data panel, so all the information about me and my current rank. I assume we were keeping to, you know, standard port speed there. Ah yes, so that is the next system where we are going. Thank you very much, Rocky. Doing another burn, presumably to get us out of mass lock from the station, and here we go. Little bit of judder on the loading. I don't know, maybe I've got a few too many things running in the background on my computer. Well, he's not fuel scooping, so presumably he doesn't have a need to. Ooh. And the discovery still counts toward me. Makes me wonder whether discoveries do actually get transferred between ships. It's only that if you get blown up while you're in combat that you lose all of them. Things you learn. Do I get access to the external panel? Yes, I do. Oh, 4 jumps to go. Almost there. I mean, if you want an excuse to go and make a cup of tea, you can certainly do so if you're taking an Apex Interstellar transport.
A lot of credits sloshing around this system. Someone at the top's getting things right for once.
I do like the taxi driver chat. Oh. And I do like the mug, kind of. Let me see if we can see it again. It looks like it looks as though it's just floating there in midair. I mean, technically, I'm pretty sure this ship is 0 gravity. But still, the cup would need to be secured so that it doesn't go, you know, straight to the back wall of the cockpit under thrust. But of all the things, if that's the only quibble I've got, then I don't know. I reckon I'm doing pretty well. So here we go, adjusting course a little bit to get around the planet. 26% heat, 100% hull. Well, you better hope 100% hull. Nothing's come to grab us. So yeah, that is another question. I wonder if it is possible to get attacked, or for an NPC or even another player to attack you while you are taking an Apex flight, whether interplanetary or interstellar. Drop a comment down there if you know what the answer is. Or even if you've got some wild speculation, go on. It'll be fun to read. Or even if you've, you know, heard from a guy who heard from a guy that something happened to somebody while they were on an Apex. Was it the Thargoids? Was it something else?
Apex 618 ready for docking. Just let me know. Prepare for landing.
And you get to hear the pilot do his own call sign. If there is one of the things that I would love to have in terms of voice functionality, it would be the ability to open a comms channel and say something like, "This is DeLacy Sierra Papa Zero requesting landing permission." And there we go. Here we are. Now. Yep, here we go. She is going into her own docking bay.
Have a good one.
Why, thank you very much. I've forgotten his name already. That feels kind of rude. Better get off. Don't want any more awkward silences. So, here we are at Starlay Station after... I feel like I should have had a clock running. I've been recording for 30 minutes, and I think I was around about 20 when I finally booked the flight after all the faffing around with views and setting up and what have you. So yes, we've already had a look. You know, I do worry about these stations sometimes. I mean, A, don't they pay a cleaner? And B, are we spacers such bloody slobs? Really? I worry about the future of our species, folks. I really do. And here we are at Starlay Station. Ah, and Frontier has its own shuttles. So it's not like you book at Frontier and then book at Apex. Oh, Frontline, pardon me. Frontline has its own shuttles. So you don't book at Frontier and then go all the way across to Apex to then get a flight where you're going. Frontline handles everything. There you go. Again, the things you learn. But here we are. And of course now, because I am at Starlay Station, no accessible ships docked. Hang on a second.
Looking for someone to do some off-the-books work.
Let me double check this. I wonder if I've made a bit of an oops. I might have. Did I come to the wrong place? I think I might, silly me, have to get another Apex flight. Let me check this out. Well, at least it gives me the opportunity. Yes, hello.
Welcome to Apex Interstellar. Where can we take you today?
I think it's going to have to be a local shuttle. Let's check this out. Of course. So here we are in the system view. There is Starlay Station where I am at the moment. And that little wedge-shaped icon is where I left my ship. So yes, for any of you who were screaming at the screen a little bit earlier, I'm going, Rob, you're booking for the wrong, forgot. Well, yeah, 100
Thank you.
credits.
Your booking is confirmed.
At least, you know, it's not that expensive. So,
Have a good trip.
here we go again. No, wait, that's Pioneer Supplies. Wrong way. Okay. No, I'm pretty sure the guy's name wasn't Eldridge Banks last time. So, this time we will do a bit of a sprint.
Hello. Take a seat and get comfy.
Definitely a different voice. And yep, I mean, different character model naturally. So yeah, I get the feeling that there are certain efficiencies with getting Apex Interstellar at times like this. It felt as though, while I could have taken my own ship out to pick up Lucky Henry, again, it would have meant that we would have had two ships out here. And also, I think the trip out might not have been quite as efficient, shall we say, as letting a taxi pilot handle the jumps and getting to and from. The course is already booked in, so I don't have to fiddle with the external panel. Oh wait, wrong button. There. So I don't have to fiddle with the external panel and select locations, and of course I can't. Yes, it doesn't. Of course, it doesn't allow me to lock a destination, as well it should not, but still. So yes, we don't have to go Interstellar this time. We're not making a big, massive faster than light jump, but we might. From the sounds of things, I believe of course the frame shift drive is online. We saw the big countdown and the boom. So I believe we are technically, given the amount of close and the amount of seconds traveling at the speed of light is dropping faster than 1 second per second, we are going at frame shift drive. Pardon me. The frame shift drive is active. We are going at faster than light speeds. And of course it means I don't have to worry about making the loop of shame. It's because I'm flying with a professional. Yes, I get paid to do the job. That doesn't mean I'm professional. It's a paid amateur. Almost there. So yes, debatable as whether I'll leave the whole blowing my nose thing on video. I might edit that out. I mean, I'm editing this thing anyway, so I can't say, you know, keeping it raw, keeping it real, full honesty. Interesting buzzy noises the adder makes. There are some shit noises I'm not fond of. This and the Imperial Eagle. The Imperial Eagle sounds like a swarm of bees or some such.
Stay safe out there.
Thank you very much. I intend to. And once again, we depart the Apex shuttle. What the hell happened here? Did somebody get mobbed with a bunch of paperwork? And snacks? Was it an office relocation combined with a Friday night party? What the... burgers, pizza boxes, and... Okay. Can I... Does that say Starstruck? Starstruck Yeah, I still worry about the future of humanity, folks. I really do. Don't tell me you don't do that in a lift, you liar. So here we are. On a... Is it Towarnicki or Towarnicki?
Founded in 3222, Apex Interstellar Transport is the largest shuttle company in civilized space.
Yes, I know, folks.
Provide reach throughout the core systems. So wherever you're going, Apex can get you there.
Well, you just did. Thank you very much. So now, this time, when I'm not getting caught on the handrails of the stairs... Okay. Now, this is a bit weird. I'm here on Towarnicki. Says my ship's here. Well, it says that there is a ship here, local fleet. Yep.
A spacious hauler with room to spare. A formidable combat vessel.
You want to make a difference around here. I've got some courier work.
Build a distance. No, I'm not describing three different ships. I'm talking about the Cobra Mark III.
Okay. If they were talking about the Type 8, that really would have felt like rubbing it in. Okay, let's see if we can figure this out, shall we? Just rebuild chips. Local reputation. Okay, well, it would appear that if I want to be able to get a ship, I have to transport it myself. I have to transport it to a location where I've got another ship. I can't hop an Apex Interstellar Transport and go pick it up. Alright, folks. Turns out I did a quick bit of Googling, and according to some folks on the Frontier Developments forums, which is forums.frontier.co.uk, there is a solution. So, let me give it a try. Anyway, here I am back in the foyer of Towarnicki Station. I keep feeling like I should be saying Towarnicki, but anyway. And what it seems I have to do is go up here. Got a little bit of judder. Maybe I'm just running too many things at once still. And I go to this place, into Astra. And I suspect, actually, I go over here and talk to this fine person. Aha! So this is what I do. I go to this person here at Inter Astra, and I say, use this ship. And there we go. Ship retrieved, Type 8 transporter. And this is where, if I wanted to get one of my other ships shifted out, where I can do it, as opposed to going to the hangar. You're welcome, and thank you for bailing me out. So, here we go. Oh, and it does take a couple of minutes for the ship to get ready. Looks like things are running fairly smoothly now, which is nice. Anyway, and here she is in Hangar 23. Should I say she when it's called Lucky Henry? Well, I suppose, why not? Henry could be short for Henrietta, or we could just be taking gender out of bloody names because, you know, doesn't really matter. At least the names don't. I mean, if you're trying to find out whether someone is safe to be attracted to from their name, you need to do a lot more work before you get to that point, pal. And we are back on board. So I didn't have to splurge another 50,000 credits to get myself back to Vodianus and either get Lucky Henry, pay another 350 or so thousand credits to get Lucky Henry back out there. I've got the ship back. It might be the only one in the area, but I'm happy enough for now. But anyway, what has your experience with Apex Interstellar Transport been? When has it bailed you out of trouble, or when have you found it didn't solve a problem that you were expecting to? Have you hit a similar issue when playing Elite Dangerous, or heck, any other video game? And when did having to dig through Google Assistant, or God help you, reading the fucking manual, wind up solving the problem? Anyway, until the next video, this is Commander Rob Farker giving an 07 and signing off.